when we want to do Golden Tongues. I have completely spaced on getting the prep work done for that episode. So I vote we do the Austin Powers episode next, and then we'll do the listener one.
That's fine. But the problem is it's going to be, I can't do it this weekend and I can't do it next weekend.
Okay.
So it would have to be the 15th at the earliest.
Okay. What about during the week?
Because
I'm flexible, so
we might be able to. We might be able to do something during the week.
Okay, just let me know. We'll plan it out, and like I said, I'll try to watch the movie as soon as possible, just so that that's done. And we'll go from there.
Excellent.
All right. There we go. What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Dense Pixels podcast. I'm your host, Brad, joined by my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
Terrence has a lot going on outside of the podcast network this week, so he will not be joining us, unfortunately, today. I think he's also going to have TNP off this week as well, so you guys will not get your Terrence fill. Also, I will tell you up front, no question of the week, because I had to record a budding watch enthusiast video right before coming on here, and it was my first day back from vacation at my actual job, so didn't have time to do a question of the week. My apologies, and we will do better the next time. Probably not, though, because we've been terrible at question of the week lately.
That's all right. We'll have a kick-ass question of the week next week.
Yeah, most likely. Speaking of kicking ass, or maybe getting your ass kicked, depending on your perspective, I've been playing lots of Mario Tennis Aces over the weekend, and I would imagine that you've been playing some Mario Tennis Aces as well.
Yeah, I've been losing at a lot of Mario Tennis Aces. Just because I stink.
So yeah, Mario Tennis is half of a pretty good game. You know this game is like, we compared it to a fighting game when we played the demo a couple weeks ago. It truly is a fighting game, because outside of the online play, the single player sucks.
Yeah, it does.
It's not good at all. So we'll briefly talk about adventure mode, and then I'll talk about some online experience with the game as you will, I'm sure, as well. So the adventure mode has a loose story, which I couldn't give two shits about, because who gives a fuck? It's a first of all, it's a Mario story in the first place, and then it's a sports story, which is also ridiculous and dumb. But essentially, it is a setup for you to go through and play through a variety of different challenges. And then, they have like different hub worlds where you have 2 or 3 challenges, and then you fight a boss that usually incorporates the skills that you practice during the challenges, I guess. And it's fine. It seems unreasonably difficult at points.
Yeah.
For this game, kind of brutal in the difficulty sometimes. The first thing that got really stuck on is there's this like mirror, like you play a game of tennis against this mirror basically, and you have to like hit these, like they have like bubbles that are floating around in the reflection of the mirror, and you have to pop a specific bubble, and then once you do that, they have these like gears that are like turning around this clock, and you have to hit them in a specific order as well. And the whole point is to teach you how to aim your zone shots. That's like the lesson they're trying to teach. But it's just hard, and like if you failed at any point, like you had to do the whole thing, and like this one particular challenge took like 5 minutes each time that you were doing it, and it wasn't really a good time. The boss fights are okay, I guess. Like there's not really much to them. It's, I need to do this specific thing to kill this specific boss.
Right.
But it's just kind of uninspired. I haven't really been enjoying the adventure mode too much, and that was supposed to be one of the highlight game modes of this game. Have you even messed around with that at all?
I gave up after I fought that piranha plant. I'm like, this is fucking dumb. Like, I mean, I can appreciate a good cornball Mario story about how they go to this island that's where everybody played tennis, and there's this tennis monster that comes out of a tennis racket that possesses all the tennis players, and we have to play tennis to save the tennis players from the tennis racket monster. All right.
Well, and here's the other dumb thing that I didn't even know about until I read about it online. where so like the benefit of doing adventure mode, other than I guess to upgrade your skills, is that you unlock certain courts in the free play mode that they have in the game, which is the local, versus or single player mode. But the problem is that they just put them into, like, when you unlock these tennis courses, they put them into a playlist that you can't even pick like which court you want to play on.
Yo, that sucks, because these tennis courts can kiss my black ass. All these gimmicky courts. I played adventure mode up into the ship, and when I hit the ball and it hit the mast of that ship, I said, "Fuck you! I'm not playing this level because you get on my damn nerves." Like, are you serious? Like, oh, I'm all right. It just banked off. All right, never mind.
Yeah,
but
that's what you get.
I didn't play too much of adventure mode.
I'm playing hell of a time online though, that's for sure.
Yo, online. I mean, I like the game, but goodness gracious, man! Like I'm getting shellacked.
Some people are really good. Apparently, like if you end up against like a Rosalina or a Boo that knows what they're doing,
yo,
might as well put the racket down.
Yo, first time I fought a Boo, I was so mad. I couldn't believe it. Like I was livid, man. I couldn't take it. Like whenever they do that, I forget the name of the shot, but it's like the blue shot, the shot with the blue streak.
It's a slice, basically. It's a slice.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean they sliced the shit out of that thing, man. Like goodness gracious.
Well, the thing that I think is the problem is that that slice is extremely powerful.
That slice is OP, man.
Right, but the issue is that the other characters, or at least that I haven't discovered it yet, the other characters don't have anything in their arsenal that's comparable to that. Like the power characters hit harder shots, and so you might be able to stagger your opponent more easily. The speedy characters obviously can move around the court much faster. I don't know what the benefit of the defensive characters is. Like Bowser Jr. and Waluigi are both considered defensive characters, but yeah, those tricky characters with that fucking ridiculous slice, like I don't know what to do. Like if I get to the third round and my opponent is Boo, I'm just like, I might as well put this fucking thing down because I think it's stomped.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is maybe you got to master that trick shot, but even then, like I just
that is the only way that I was able to hang in for any period of time is by like you said, mastering that trick shot and using it with reckless abandon, basically.
Yeah, man. And then even then, like if you don't really master the trick shot, like you're burning all your resources.
Right.
So I like it. I really do like it. I'm gonna try and get my wife into it so that I can play a human that I can beat.
This is definitely a game where skill rules for sure. Like if you're used to playing, but it's fun. Like I said, I've played probably 30 to 40 online matches already so far. Mm-hmm. And I have about a 500 record. I can usually get into the third round of the online tournament. I do hope that they expand the online mode slightly beyond just that simple tournament structure.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to be able to do like casual matches.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Just do a quick exhibition. And
they'll add stuff to the game. So my point is though, I think our Mario Kart of this year praise might be a shade too high for what this game is able to achieve. It's definitely fun to play online, but if you're not going to play it online, I would say definitely pass because the single player offline game modes are not up to snuff. And I have not done like swing mode or any of that bullshit because it's not what I want.
It's not the game.
No, it's not.
You know what I fired up that this is how bad I am with my Switch. I downloaded the Octopath Traveler demo.
I've been playing that too, actually.
But I downloaded the first one.
That was a bad move on your part.
Yeah, I downloaded the first one and started playing, and I'm like, wow, this is really cool. You know, like I played the dancer, and I'm like, whoa, first of all, like this is a dark ass story, man. Like this is yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I noticed that, there's the other demo because I'm like, well, is this the demo that people are talking about? And no, I saw that there's another demo. So I downloaded that. Now I have to go play that because that's the one that carries over, right?
Yes. Basically the The demo that you just got it basically lets you play from the start of the game, and it lets you play up to 3 hours worth, which will be enough time to probably get through 2 of the like origin stories for the game. Which, by the way, as soon as I started playing, I'm like, I know Mike is going to love this because it is essentially your favorite part of Dragon Age Origins, except you get to go through all of them before.
yeah.
So as soon as I saw that that's basically what they were doing, I'm just like, oh man, I was like, Mike is really going to dig this a lot.
Yeah.
I like what the game could possibly become. And it looks like it's got a lot of potential. The only thing that I don't want to say I'm worried about this, but the battle system when you're only using one character is a little rudimentary. I hope that once you have an actual party and you can like combine skills and stuff like that, that it gets a little bit more complex, because it's fine, it works well, and it's interesting because it kind of, in most Japanese role-playing games, like you're actually better served if you focus on one enemy at a time. And actually in this game, that's not necessarily the case. You kind of have to, if you're fighting against multiple foes, you have to kind of bounce back and forth to take advantage of which foe is striking next, like who's coming up in the turn order next. Can I break this guy if I attack him with the weakness? So I really like the battle system, and I'm curious to see what it's going to become once you get more characters doing more stuff. But yeah, it's been delightful so far. I can't wait for that. It's game comes out in like 2.5 weeks, I think.
Yeah, and I can finally pre-order it now. So I'm super excited for that game. I got high hopes, man. Like this is like you said, I think you said it before. This might be my return to like a Final Fantasy VI style game. You know what I mean? Just everything down to the look, to the very interesting story, to a cast of characters that seems to be really interesting, and that's all I really need. I was surprised that it was voiced too, that the story was voiced.
Yeah. The not cutscenes, but the dialogue scenes are fully voiced as well. Yeah, man. Like I said, the enemy sprites remind me exactly of Final Fantasy VI. Like if they made a modern day redoing of Final Fantasy VI, that's exactly what the enemies would look like.
Yeah. And I like what they do with lighting. Like they play around with lighting a lot in the game that makes it unique. You know what I mean? It gives it some sort of weird 2.5, 2 3/4 dimension to it, which I'm looking forward to that, man. I shouldn't have. I wish I played the right one.
Well, it only sucks because when you eventually get to the dancer, you'll just basically be playing that part over again, essentially. So
yeah.
But yeah, it's like I said, I've enjoyed it so far as well. So make sure, guys, a little bit of housekeeping. Go to youtube.com/densepixels and hit the subscribe button while you're there. If you've been living under a rock and you missed all of our E3 coverage a couple weeks ago, there is plenty to check out there. We did, I think if you count the pre-shows, 6 different episodes. You can probably skip the pre-shows at this point, but make sure you check out all the other ones if you missed it. We also posted those in podcast format as well, if that's more convenient. But check out the YouTube channel, subscribe there while you do it. TNP Studios also has a premium channel. You guys know this, I'm sure, but make sure you go to densepixels.com/premium and sign up for just $5 a month or $50 for the entire year. That gets you access to the airing of grievances, the Men with the Golden Tongues, the No Time to Bleed action movie podcast, and the Look Forward political podcast, as well as video episodes of the Nerdpocalypse podcast as well. Well worth your money. We promise lots of great content, hundreds of hours already, and we add more every single week. And then finally, no matter what podcatching device you use, be it Spotify, be it Apple Podcasts, be it the new Google Podcast app, or any podcatcher, search for Dense Pixels, subscribe to the show while you're there. We will drop new episodes into your feed while you sleep on Monday nights, and they'll be ready for your commute on Tuesday morning. And if you do use Apple Podcasts, make sure you leave us a review on iTunes. It helps grow the audience. It helps grow the show. And if you leave us a 5-star review, we will read it on the air. So new releases. This is the last 2 weeks worth, basically. And not a comprehensive list. It's more just highlights. So at retail stores, Lego The Incredibles released a couple weeks ago. Mario Tennis Aces released, as you all know. The Crew 2 is coming out this week. Near Automata, Become as Gods Edition, coming out for the Xbox One this week. the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy coming out for Xbox One and Switch, and Wolfenstein 2 is releasing for the Nintendo Switch. So if you wanted to play a very beautiful shooter in 720p, that's there for you as well. I tried the Doom on the Switch. I was not impressed. Like it's cool for what it is, but if you have the choice to play that on PS4 and Xbox One or the Switch, like why are you ever?
Yeah, I gotta imagine that you can't really go back.
No, you absolutely cannot. You absolutely cannot. Digital highlights. So if you ever wanted to pull a John Hammond and build your own Jurassic Park style theme park, Jurassic World Evolution released a couple weeks ago. This is basically the Jurassic Park theme park builder that they came out with. Super Bomberman R releasing for PS4 and Xbox One. This came out on the Switch upon release to very poor reviews, so probably can avoid that. Omega Strike, a Metroidvania style, aka Metroid style game, released for the Xbox One a couple weeks ago. Lumines Remastered finally coming out this week on all platforms, Xbox One, PS4, and Switch. I already have my copy preloaded on my Nintendo Switch as well. Rainbow Six, a new JRPG coming out for PS4. Tour de France 2018 coming out on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So if all you cycling nerds out there needed your fix, that's going to be available. And then World of Tanks Mercenaries releasing for Xbox One this week as well. Only one new release date announcement outside of the E3 kerfluffle, and that is Life is Strange 2 is coming starting on September 22nd is when episode 1 will release. Then you can play the adventures of Captain Underpants or whatever the fuck that game is called. I think comes out this week if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember that kid's name.
Yeah, it's like Captain Make-A-Wish or something. I really can't remember. It doesn't have anything to do with the butterfly effect that made Life is Strange a hit for me, so I don't really give a shit.
Micah, how much Lumines Remastered are you going to play this week?
I'm going to play a lot of it, but I won't be playing it this week. I gotta wait till I get paid, and I gotta make sure that I pre-order Octopath Traveler first. And I don't have any money because I bought a PS4 Pro.
Oh, you finally did it.
I did it.
I'm not surprised, though. I'm not surprised. After our conversation last week, it comes as no surprise. So has the extra juice, has the extra pro goodness been noticed by you so far? That's a good question.
Well, first of all, it performs better. Like load times and stuff like that are noticeably different. I can tell a difference with some games. Like I threw in God of War just to see, just to try and see a difference. And yeah, it does move a little smoother. I am happy with my purchase, so much so that I went out and bought a 4 terabyte external hard drive because I'm tired of because I was trying to do the conversion. And they're like, oh, and I had a 2 gig in my or a 2 terabyte in my old PS4. I said, well, nuts to that. I gotta get me a bigger one. And I'm selling Jay my old PS4. And I said, well, nuts to that. He's not getting a free 2 terabyte hard drive. Something that he'll never use. He's gonna buy God of War and Spider-Man, and that's it. So let me yank this thing out. But yeah, I'm happy with it. I was like, well, should I get an Xbox One X?
No.
But I legit can't think of a reason to buy the Xbox One X. So yeah, I think most of my games will be. I think this might be the death nail for the Xbox in my house, man. Like, because most of the games I'm gonna get are gonna be on the Pro now. So I don't know.
I sold my Xbox One, by the way, recently.
Oh, damn.
It's because I thought about it, and the only thing that since Cuphead came out in November, the only thing that I powered it on for besides that is because I had my Super NES Classic plugged into it and powered by it because I didn't have a free HDMI port on the TV port, so I just plugged into the TV mode of the Xbox. That's literally the only thing I've used my Xbox One for.
God
aside
damn.
from that. So I was looking at it and I was like, do I still need to own you? And I looked at all the terrific Microsoft exclusives that we talked about that are coming green never. And I was like, yeah, I don't need to.
I'm gonna hold on to it, but But yeah, I'm not gonna upgrade, and I think that speaks volumes. Like
For you especially.
yeah,
You always like the new shiny toy. So
yeah, and so now I just got to get a 4K TV.
I mean, that's a better use of your money than buying an Xbox One X. I can. We Crackdown 3 maybe one day, possibly.
Nah, that game ain't coming out, man.
We'll see.
And at this point, I'm not gonna buy it out of principle. Fuck you. Let me tell you something. Crackdown was overrated anyway. The only reason it gained any traction is because it came with Halo 2, and it, you know, there are many other open world games. I would rather play Saints Row. I get a better feeling of superhero-ness from the Saints Row games than I do Crackdown.
Not even actual Halo 3, just the Halo 3 beta.
Yeah, just a beta. Bleh.
Said also by that corollary, also overrated. Zone of the Enders.
yeah, it is.
Do you hear that? Micah hates Zone of the Enders. Send all of your hate mail to Micah at densepixels.
Send it to me. Send it to me. I will send you a picture of a human cockpit. Like, see, I'm cosplaying as Zone of the Enders, and then it's just somebody's big dick hanging out, because that's what that game did. It made you sit in a robot dick and fight each other.
What if Death Stranding is actually Zone of the Enders 3?
I wouldn't be surprised. Why not? Nothing else makes sense. You know what? It would make the game have a more coherent story. Like, oh, okay, well, this is based off of this. I don't know why they're eating babies, and babies are giving thumbs up while in the stomachs, but fuck him. Stupid Kojima.
So speaking of people saying fuck off to other people, let's get headlines. Bethesda Software is suing Warner Brothers Entertainment because apparently the new Westworld game that came out is, quote, a blatant ripoff of Fallout Shelter. To the extent they claim it's even using the same source code as Fallout Shelter.
All right. Well, because at first I was going to be like, all right, well, come on. Like if someone creates a game that's similar to yours, that's not grounds for, but if they're using the same source code, it's a little different.
So this is the most Bethesda thing of all time. My favorite part of the story is one of the ways that they're alleging proof that they're using the same source code is because the demo build of the Westworld game had the exact same bug that the demo build of Fallout Shelter had in it. That was later fixed. Only Bethesda would use their software bugs as evidence of proof. Ripped off. No other company would do that, but Bethesda's like, yeah, we've got bugs all the time. Look,
they take it's a point of pride for Bethesda to have a broken ass game. Like, no, guys. I know they're stealing from us because our game was broken when we launched it. Wait, what? Oops. I said the loud part soft and the soft part loud. God damn it. That's funny.
So apparently that's a thing that's happening. So we'll see how that plays out. I have a feeling that it's probably going to get settled out of court if I had to guess. Especially with that bulletproof evidence that they have of the exact same bug happening, but we will see. I don't really care about the Westworld game, but I mean, if you look at them side by side, they're very similar. But then again, Fallout Shelter is similar to other games of that ilk as well. So
yeah, I don't care about the Westworld game because I don't care about Westworld anymore because I watched the first season of that show. And then I watched the first 2 episodes of the second season. I'm just like, you know what? I'm too stupid. I'm done.
Well, that is 12 more episodes of Westworld than I have watched. Big old 0.
That show is pretentious. That show is right up Kojima's alley.
Okay. Watch, he'll be a hidden consultant on the show.
Yeah.
We just don't even know. Maybe Death Stranding is a Westworld game. Who knows? You never know. The possibilities are infinite. So Microsoft had a little bit of a snafu over this past week. So there was a guy who pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition of Forza Horizon 4 on his PC because, why would you want to make people buy your game console to play your games? Who knows? But anyway, the game preloaded on his PC already for some reason, even though the game's not going to be out for another 3 months. But thanks to the game preloading, he was able to comb through the game's files and found the 450 car lineup that they plan on releasing for the game as well inside of all of that. So basically, the guy posted a full list of the cars that were found, he even organized them all by manufacturer. And they kind of fucked up a little bit because unfortunately, one of the ways that racing games especially have to build excitement for this release is to trickle out the different cars that are going to be in the game and keep people guessing. But yeah, that's all out for people to look at now.
Forza Horizon 4 being developed by Capcom this season. Yeah, that sucks for them. But you can't win for losing, man. But I mean, look, no harm, no foul. I guess people who are still into that game, I have to imagine, are still going to be into it. Maybe they can drum up some sort of excitement of, I bet you can't wait to ride around in this Pinto or whatever.
Yeah, if they were smart, they would steer into the skid and use this to their advantage if they could.
Yeah.
So I'm going through the list right now. They have the AMC Javelin from Man with the Golden Gun.
Say what?
They have a 1971 AMC Javelin. That was the car that James in Man with the Golden Gun.
All right.
Hey, look at that. My interest is
there you go.
I can't play it because I got rid of my Xbox One. It's I care more about it than I did 2 seconds ago, just based on that car alone. I wonder if they're going to have a spiral bridge that you can jump the car over, complete with inappropriate slide whistle.
I wonder if you can chauffeur around a bigot.
Yeah. What else you got here? They have a 1969 Oldsmobile Hearst in the game for some reason. I don't know why that jumped out at me. Did you ever know anyone that had an Oldsmobile? My mom had an Oldsmobile growing up.
I think my grandma had an Oldsmobile.
That's a good way that you can date somebody if they've heard of Oldsmobile and you have not, then that means that they are old and you are not. Because
yeah. All our listeners are like, what? Who? No, my grandmother had a deuce and a quarter.
A deuce and a quarter.
Yes, it is a Buick.
Okay.
It is a Buick. It is the size of one of those boats that you play in Assassin's Creed. Didn't have seatbelts. Didn't have seats. It's just one big ass bench.
Yep, that's how that worked back in the day.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's I mean, Oldsmobiles basically were just cheaper Buicks essentially. My grandfather had a Buick as well.
See, kids, car manufacturers didn't have seatbelts in cars because all cars were built like battering rams. None of this, aluminum alloy for speed. Nope. You getting a deuce and a quarter. You're the juggernaut. Ain't nothing.
Not only that, but when they did finally introduce seatbelts, even in the front seat, all you had was lap belts. They didn't have shoulder restraints.
Right.
You remember how your mind was blown also the first time you ever got into a car that had an electric seatbelt on it?
Oh yeah, man. I was like, what in the world? We're living in the future, Brad. We're living in the future.
Those things were the worst pieces of shit of all time. Electric seatbelt, man. Fucking hate. They are the worst. But yeah, there you go. That's our old man car conversation. So that we can date ourselves that much more. Finally, for headlines, WWE announced with very little fanfare compared to what they've done in the past, the title athlete for this year's edition of the game. It is going to be none other than the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, the current WWE champion. who will be on the cover of the game. Plus, besides that, he introduced the $1 million challenge that used to be a part of the 2K baseball series that is now moving over to WWE. Apparently, you'll be eligible to enter, like, if there's going to be a game mode in the game that has not been revealed yet, and the top 4 players will face off in a tournament. The winner will face AJ Styles head-to-head in a match with $1 million at stake.
Yo. Whose $1 million is it?
2K's $1 million. It ain't it, or Take Two.
I was about to say.
WWE.
I was about to say that don't sound like
already.
That don't sound like a Vince McMahon mandate.
He already did. He did that like 10 years ago. He gave away $1 million to somebody.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, it was a big deal. It was very weird because I guess they were trying to pick up sagging ratings. They had like $1 million contest that went over a number of weeks.
God damn, you had to pay people to watch your show. This just in from the anonymous Dense Pixels general manager. Quote, even though there's no question of the week, I humbly ask that you call Malcolm a bigot for hating Velveteen Dream.
I sent this in. It is the anonymous Dense Pixels.
So, we gotta do what the anonymous Dense Pixels general manager asks. Malcolm, you're a bigot for being a black man that hates all black wrestlers. Except for perhaps Bobby, I don't know how to speak well on a mic, Lashley.
I said it again. I said it before, I'll say it again. That dude looks like a thumb.
Yeah, he does, man.
Very round head.
I said it before. I think I say it again. Did I say it on here? He looks like a bunch of kettlebells that just anthropomorphized. He's just one big kettlebell up top, his 2 big kettlebell shoulders, his big kettlebell arms. He's a big ass kettlebell.
I'll never understand how Malcolm can hate on the Dream.
Look, you don't like his gimmick. I get it. You just want a guy to be a 2-name guy.
Dude's so good, though.
He's really good.
He is a 2-name guy. Velveteen Dream.
I don't know if Malcolm grew up in the era of Rick Rude, so he might not appreciate Velveteen Dream's gimmick.
Rick Rude met Goldust. That's basically,
yeah. If Rick Rude met Goldust and listened to a lot of Prince, that's Velveteen Dream.
Look, man, like I said, it's great when a guy can come out and his attire has layers that you can dive into it. Because of course, when you got a takeover, you're like, oh, Hulk Hogan, like, oh shit, that's funny. But then like people broke it down. He actually had like the Prince Puma tights on there, making Ricochet. I'm just like, wow, that's fucking awesome. And he's got input on that. That's not fucking some dude in the back coming up with this shit.
Yeah, this ain't I don't think this is a Triple H Booker T thing. Like, if you met, I think he's still salty about that. I get that. You know what I mean? Like, Triple H was a racist towards Booker T. You know what I mean? But yeah, Velveteen Dream's awesome, man. He and Ricochet at that last takeover, that was the stuff of magic. That was the stuff you see in your Velveteen Dreams.
He even put up the palm to Hulk Hogan. Like, Hulk Hogan tried to encroach on that on that thing. He's like, we can do some business. He's like, step off, Hulk Hogan.
Right. Step off, bigot. I ain't forget what I'm still black. I ain't forget what you said. Where's your daughter?
Yeah, very cool. But yeah, so that was headlines. Before we turn over to Micah, just a reminder, go to densepixels.com/Amazon. Whenever you buy anything off of Amazon, big or small, that includes when you buy PlayStation or Xbox credit. You don't have to buy it through the console. You can buy it through Amazon. Give us some money, and they'll send you the code, and then you can put it in the console. Yes, it's an extra step. Yes, it's more inconvenient, but you support your favorite video game podcast. Isn't that really what's important at the end of the day? So again, densepixels.com/Amazon. Whenever you buy anything off Amazon, thank you to those of you that use our link. And if you've not tried it yet, give it a shot because it doesn't cost you anything extra. It's awesome.
By the way, Malcolm, if you have any messages that you would like us to deliver to the anonymous Dense Pixels general manager, let us know. We'll be happy to be the go-between between you two. see if we can get a feud going. Speaking of feuds, I'm terrible at segues.
No, that was a good one. This is a good one. So
Fortnite recently launched on the Nintendo Switch, and that version of the game can be played against iOS people, Mac people, Windows PC people, Xbox One people. The problem is that using a Fortnite account that has been used on a PlayStation 4 will keep you from using that account on the Switch, and that account has been and an account that has been used on the Switch cannot be played on the PS4. What the dilly, yo?
that was terrible.
Yeah.
So here we are yet again, yet another game where PlayStation is putting up the fence in their walled garden and not allowing people to play cross-platform, even though other platforms are opening their gates. We saw this with Minecraft, most famously, even to the point where Microsoft and Nintendo collaborated on a commercial to advertise the cross-play connectivity between the platforms, which indirectly was throwing shade at Sony. We see it kind of with Rocket League, where PlayStation and PC can play against each other in Rocket League, but with nobody else. And people are getting sick and tired of it. But here's the thing. The problem with this that's never mentioned, and I think that does give PlayStation some credence to their decision making, is this. So when you log into Fortnite, you need to create an Epic Games account. And let's say that you play Fortnite primarily on PC, and you put all your microtransactions that you know, all your outfits and crazy shit that you bought on PC, and then you log into the PlayStation 4 with that same account. The problem is that you have all this stuff, but Sony is not getting a cut of the sales. And you say, oh, that's being greedy. That's, you know, what the hell, Sony? It's kind of why they're there, though. You know what I mean? Like, they're there to make money. It's not a charity. So, and likewise, if you've bought stuff on PS4, you know, I mean, Microsoft and Nintendo obviously don't give a shit, apparently, because, you know, they're more than happy to open the gates up. But their stance is also from a place of, well, maybe not Nintendo as much, but Microsoft's is from a place of weakness right now, because they're so far behind in console sales that they really don't have the ability to step up and say, hey, we're closing off our garden too. Trust me, I'm sure if Microsoft had the ability to do that with the sales right now, believe me when I tell you that they would. Like, their benevolence that people are saying is born from desperation. It's not because they are in the king seat right now, and Sony is. So Sony gets to do stuff like this, and fans don't like it. But the fact of the matter is that it's not putting a hurting on their bottom line. So they're not going to stop until it does.
I don't know. I mean, this seems pretty cut and dry to me. I you know, it sucks, but I get it. At the same time, this next story, unless you have anything else that you want to talk about.
I mean, do you have any thoughts on it besides my not rant, but
no, because I think you summed it up pretty perfectly.
Yeah. And before we do move on, like there are people, like there's a bunch in the article that we have linked in front of us here. There's a bunch of people that are like really pissed about this. And so here's one thing that I don't like per se. So one of these people are saying, hey, Sony needs to kick up the ass to be more consumer friendly. Oh, do you mean consumer friendly? Like, you know, charging you for battery packs that should come standard in controllers and charging you for Wi-Fi adapters and things like that kind of consumer friendly. It all balances out in the end.
Yeah, people, you know, people are mad at the thing right in front of them. You know what I mean? Like it just, that's why I don't pay too much of this anymore.
The one point that I will make for people that are upset about this is that they didn't know going in that it was going to be this way. That's fair. Like if Sony had upfront said, hey, just so you know, this account that you're creating here is only going to be usable on the PlayStation 4 platform. You'll never be able to use it on any other platform. If they had said that up front, then I think that would have helped diffuse a little bit of the bad vibes that are going around right now. So I can understand that standpoint, but being mad at Sony just for doing it, I don't get. I really don't get.
I mean, I don't know. I'm of two minds to this. Well, not this necessarily. I kind of get Sony's position. I do not get necessarily Valve's position in this next story. And I'm really, really interested to hear your take on it. So in a blog post, um, Valve has basically come out and said that they're not going to be responsible for things being sold through Steam. Anyone can sell any game on Steam with a few exceptions. Quote Eric Johnson of Valve, we decided that the right approach is to allow everything onto the Steam store except for things that we decide are illegal or straight up trolling. Taking this approach allows us to focus less on trying to police what should be on Steam and more on building those tools to give people control over what kinds of content they want to see. Um they this is very odd. This article points out that the wording is important because you'd think what is illegal is a question for laws and courts, but not Valve, uh, But this allows them to wash their hands of most decisions while keeping the control to interpret what illegal games should be removed and to be the final arbiter of what is and isn't trolling. It's a way of making sure the peasants know that they are responsible for themselves, but the king is still the king. It is also to be noted that Valve will continue to take a hefty percentage of every game sold on Steam. Um, there are a lot of things to unpack here. Um, okay, you don't you don't want you don't want to be bothered with having to police content, having to sift through the shit to find the real games. You want to, but you still want to keep your. I don't understand. I don't understand if Valve is trying to go the way of Facebook or because like anybody can post anything on Facebook unless it's something that Facebook deems inappropriate.
And even then, it's got to get reported.
Right. So I don't. What do you think of this? What is your take on this?
And to be clear, since we are going from an opinion piece, I will shout out Ben Kuchera from Polygon. This is the piece from. So when you have a storefront, you're free to run it however you want. Mm-hmm. It's their prerogative. But my standpoint is what you allow, you're implicitly endorsing.
Right.
So if you're allowing games on your platform that don't necessarily represent what you are as a company, well, then aren't you kind of endorsing those games and those viewpoints and stuff like that as well? And to be clear, like one of the games that I saw recently was, and I think we might have talked about it on the podcast a couple weeks ago, was that like school shooting simulator game that they came out with where you're actually like being a school shooter. Yeah. And that to me kind of crosses a decency line, I guess. And I guess, I understand. Actually, let me put it this way. I would understand their argument if their argument wasn't rooted in what amounts to laziness. Because let's not pretend like Valve hasn't had a problem curating the Steam marketplace for several years now. Whether it's allowing like bullshit asset flip games on the marketplace or, things that have questionable content, like that game that I just mentioned, that one game like Hatred that supposedly can't come out anywhere from Poland, that super violent like serial killer simulator deal.
And the twin stick serial killer shooter.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but it's born from laziness. Like Valve is a company with virtually unlimited resources. If they wanted to hire people that their only job was to curate the Steam marketplace, they could easily do that and not bat an eye. The reason that they're not doing it is because they don't feel like it. And when that's your policy, when your stance is rooted in laziness and being like, we'll just let the free market figure this out. The free Steam market, figure out what's good and what's not good. Yeah, that's cool, I guess, that you're giving whoever wants a platform to put whatever bullshit nonsense game they want on your platform, and that's fine, I guess, but is that really the company that you want to be?
Yeah, this stuff is a reflection on you, man. You know, Jay runs this company, and we can say pretty much anything we want. But at the same time, we are a reflection of the brand that he's trying to build, which is why certain people aren't here anymore. Because he's trying to build a specific brand that has a certain message, and if something is too egregious, I, you don't want that to be a representative of your brand. I just don't like. And like you said, it's just laziness. It's laziness, and it comes off as greedy.
Well, and the thing is too, like their stance is we're going to not police what's going to be on the platform, and instead we're going to build tools so that they can control what people see and don't see. Like really, like can't you just make sure that certain games are on the platform? Because there's so much garbage that's on Steam. Like it is not, it seems healthy, but it's not healthy when year over year for the past 3 years, like the amount of games in the Steam marketplace is more than doubling every year. Because believe me when I tell you that 97% of those games are just bullshit. Not even from a content standpoint, from a technical standpoint. Right. Like they're games that, quite frankly, I'm sorry, shouldn't be seeing the light of day where people are expected to pay money to use them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, like to plead laziness is fine. And I give Sony a lot of grief over what some PS4 games that make it out onto the platform. Again, this is to me, it's mostly not even about the content standpoint. There's always going to be games that have controversial content, and I don't know that any of us should be the police for what is and is not appropriate. Now, there are lines to be drawn, and there are things that do kind of push the border of good decency that I think that a reasonable person could say, yeah, we probably don't want to be associated with this. I'm more talking about it from a technical standpoint. Like these games are shit that are coming out on fucking Steam, and there's thousands of them coming out every single year. And there really shouldn't be. Like it's not too much to ask if you're a customer of this platform that when they're making money hand over fist that they have a group of people that is able to curate this stuff and to have a certain standard of quality that you expect from stuff on your marketplace.
That's it. The standard of quality. That's the issue. I 100% agree with you that, content is subjective, right? I'm a big proponent of, do whatever, say whatever, don't hurt me, don't hurt anybody, but to a point. I got my own personal views, and people use music and video games and media to brainwash people into thinking certain ways and all that. But you're absolutely right. The garbage that is just in the Steam marketplace is sad. It's not. It's like walking into a storefront that's just dirty. That's just got like everything. It's like walking into a store the day after Black Friday. You know what I mean? Like everything's just all over the place. You can't find what you want, and quite frankly, it's a turnoff, man. I don't want to buy something through Steam if I got to sift through a bunch of bullshit. And yeah, their algorithms or whatever try to help you out, but I don't know, man. It's just not the same. I'm very surprised at this company.
Right. I can't. Something just doesn't equate to me seeing a company that makes hundreds of millions of dollars every year that's able to just sit back and just say, we're just going to wash our hands of any kind of standard for our marketplace.
Yeah, like
they're coming and their whole point is they're coming at it from the content standpoint. Like they're coming at it from the content of the game standpoint. Like here's a line from this blog post. It says, quote, "It means that the Steam store is going to contain something that you hate and don't think should exist. Unless you don't have any opinions, that's guaranteed to happen. But you're also going to see something on the store that you believe should be there, and some other people will hate it and want it not to exist. But it also means that the games we allow into the store will not be a reflection of Valve's values." well, then what's the point of even fucking being there? You know what I mean?
I mean, by that token, I mean, isn't it not unreasonable that I can just say the opposite of what he just said? Well, that game's not. No game is going to be a reflection of your values, but you're taking a percentage of every game that you sell. So theoretically, yeah, you are, like you said, you are implicitly endorsing everything on your platform because you let it on your platform.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't just be like, "Oh, wash your hands." Like, no, you can't.
You literally you cannot.
If Marvel Studios releases a movie that has a bunch of like questionable shit, guess what? That's gonna be hung around the neck of Marvel Studios. You get Marvel Studios. Kevin Feige can't come out, a month after that movie comes out and be like, "Listen, like just because we're releasing this doesn't mean it's a reflection of."
I think I think the better analogy is if Marvel Studios came out and released something that's questionable, it's a reflection on Disney. Like it is. So I don't. This is baffling to me, and like
But again, it's laziness. It's nothing more than like you really don't have to read any deeper into it than the fact that it's laziness. This isn't politically motivated. This isn't like, there's no motivation other than we don't feel like doing this.
Yeah.
Because if they wanted to, they could.
Yeah.
Wanted to, they could.
You want this game, you find it. Could you imagine walking into a store and you going up to the clerk at Target and say, "Hey, where can I get the Cheerios?" Fuck you. You find it. Come on, man.
But and again, they're of course they're going to be fine with their fucking marketplace turning into the Wild West because, like you said, they're getting a cut of every sale. So what the fuck do they care? they look at it as, oh, more games means more money because you got to pay them to get on the store anyway, and then they also take a cut of your sales. So yeah, what the fuck? Of course they're not going to give a shit. But again, I just expect more from this company, and there's no. It kills me that there's no reasonable competitor in the marketplace to them.
Yeah.
Like they have a de facto monopoly outside of EA, the Origin Store, and outside of Uplay, just because those are specific publisher games that they have locked behind there. But other than that, like if you want to be a competitor to Steam in the PC marketplace, good fucking luck. Because it's a monolith now at this point.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I was sitting here racking my brain trying to figure, like, it's gotta be something else to it. You know what I mean? But no, I think you're right. I think it's just we don't feel like doing it.
It's sheer laziness.
And I cannot, I can only imagine the Herculean tasks that it would be to police everything on here.
And it would. To be clear, it would require a company that has a vast amount of financial resources that would be able to absorb the blow of hiring, I don't know, 30 or 40 employees to specifically do that job. I don't know if such a company exists that could possibly undertake such a fiscal responsibility to be able to do something like that, to make sure that their platform is not being used for fucking garbage. But apparently that company doesn't exist. What are we getting, Half-Life 3? That's what they should have said. They could have alleviated any negative press that came from this by being like, and listen, by doing this, now we're able to make Half-Life 3. You'll be like, all right, whatever. Turn your store into fucking Gunsmoke. We don't care. So like I said, it's sheer laziness. It's not because they're not being benevolent. They just don't feel like fucking doing it. That's all it boils down to.
Like even the statements don't come off as well, they come off as flippant and condescending. Like, no, this approach allows us to focus on less on trying to police and more on giving you the tools you need to filter the content. Well, a filter, an age gate. Is that it? Jerks. I just
I'm waiting for the filter to pop up on Steam now. Like, what political party do you align with?
I mean, look,
these games
in the climate that we're in, man. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. The comments underneath that article are actually halfway decent. Also,
when you say halfway decent, do you mean like they're actually insightful or they're funny to laugh at?
No. They're actually insightful.
Oh, you mean the Polygon article?
Yeah,
I actually was looking at the comments on the blog post and just
oh no, I'm not even going. Oh man.
But and again, like I said, it's not as if we don't have a perfect corollary of what a hands-off approach to your platform. It's not like we haven't seen any problems with that lately, have we, guys?
Right.
So, whatever.
Get ready for a wave of fake games. Fake games.
Oh, thank you for coming through with the episode. Breath here. Very good. Yeah, it's lazy, and this is going to have a net negative effect on Steam, I have to imagine. But it's not going to matter because they're going to still make all the money.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not going to matter. God damn.
Not going to matter one bit. Enjoy your Steam summer sale, guys. Enjoy buying 30 games that you're never going to play for $2 a piece. Sure to be great. Enjoy sifting through the fucking landfill. That stores become. Have fun with your algorithms. Be fantastic.
Yeah. Goodness gracious.
So that's it. I've been waiting to talk about that story for 3 weeks. So I'm glad we got there. So yeah, that's it for this week, guys. Again, if you are not part of our fan group, go to densepixels.com/fans. Conversations happening in there every single day. It's a good time, and check it out if you've not done so yet. We can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at densepixels. Subscribe to the podcast no matter what podcatcher you use. Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes, and we're all on Twitch TV. I am Dense Pixels Brad. Terrence is Apparition 410. Micah is Dense Black Nerd, and Carrie is Suppets Carrie. Oh, before we leave, so Cade 6 is really dead, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that.
The fuck?
Wait, what? See, and that's the thing, right? Like, I'm not up on Destiny lore, but the Exos are robots, guys. Like, somebody can't just repair Cade.
Apparently there's a lore explanation as to why.
Okay.
As to why it can't be done.
As long as there's a reason why this robot can't be rebuilt, then I'm okay with that. I still haven't pre-ordered Forsaken yet.
Yeah, we glossed over that fact because I wasn't 100% sure that he was going to remain dead, but Bungie's like, nah, he's dead. Like, he's dead. He's dead forever.
Wow.
And I'm just like, God damn. And they're telling us now. Apparently the whole first mission is like a fucking troll job. Like they designed the mission that you know that he's gonna die. So they do a lot of like false like false death things.
Oh damn. So now it's just like Final Destination. Like, how is he gonna die?
But there's that. So yeah, looking forward to Forsaken. I have not previewed yet either, but that's not because I don't want it, just because I haven't. I'm not you. I don't fucking watch the trailer, then get on my computer real quick and pre-order that shit right away. So, well, thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you all next time.
See ya.